Now I need something from 9 different people, 9 of you. I need you to pick up one of the newspapers in front of you with underlined portion. And I'd like you to read it aloud. And then after you're done reading it, walk through the passage and make a little stack on my side.
As children beg for help, system failure.
Platform for the people. Ever wish you could hire a lobbyist, push legislation, and have better access to elected representatives, all from the union? There's an app for that. At least there will be soon, thanks to a startup out of Virginia's capital that aims to be a sort of Kickstarter for political influence. Crowd Lobby, a brainchild of University of Richmond graduates, recently raised $35,000 and plans to launch within the next few months. Here's how it will work. Citizens can log on and contribute to an issue they care about. It has to be a specific legislative fix, not an overarching topic like education reform. Once a minimum is reached, $50,000 at the state level, $200,000 in Washington, Craft Lobby hires a lobbyist on the contributors' behalf. It's really going to be a platform for the people, said 27-year-old Samantha Big.
Wheeler, job's no fun, but I've made progress. Nearly halfway through his first term as mayor, Ted Wheeler said Monday the job is harder than he imagined, given the dizzying array of problems he must deal with. But he said that he has delivered on his campaign promises to combat homelessness and affordable housing, and believes Portland is making progress where it counts. During a wide-ranging interview with the Oregonian Oregon Live at City Hall, the mayor vented his frustrations at just how powerless he and the city are to staunch the increasing numbers of homeless people or deal with the profound lack of affordable housing. Wheeler touted budgets passing during his tenure that increased spending on homelessness prevention, shelters, and programs that transition people from the streets into apartments. He said spending on affordable housing is at record levels and that thousands have been moved from shelters or the streets into housing by big city programs. But the mayor said that he has grown resigned that Portland's homelessness problem is nearly intractable. Despite a majority of the public being lulled into believing the city can solve it alone, that is just not true, he said. Wheeler laid blame at the feet of the federal government, citing a decades-long decline in housing investments, the ever-worsening American addiction crisis, and inadequate services for the mentally ill.
Familiar face to be superintendent of Catholic schools in Biloxi Diocese. The Catholic Diocese of Biloxi was promoted from within, choosing a successor to Superintendent Michael Ladner, who retires at the end of this month. Rhonda Clark, who has been associate superintendent for 10 years, will take over as superintendent effective July 30th. Lander, who has been superintendent since 2005, is retiring July 26th. As superintendent, Clark will oversee the education in diocese for 10 elementary schools and 4 high schools. St. Stanislaus College in Bay St. Louis is a private school and not under the diocese educational supervision. Clark is a member of the Nativity BVM in Biloxi, and her son Stephen attended St. James Catholic Elementary and St. Patrick's. Bishop Louis F. Kynan III praised Ladner for his work in rebuilding the school system after Hurricane Katrina struck it on August 29, 2005. Dr. Ladner was instrumental in reopening and rebuilding our schools following Hurricane Katrina, he said. I thank him for his 13 years of dedicated service to the Diocese of Biloxi and our Catholic schools. Clark becomes the 4th superintendent for the diocese after Sister Joanne Cozy, Lanny Acosta, and Ladner. It is my goal to work with our principal families, pastors, parish, communities, and all stakeholders to continue the important ministry of Catholic education in South Mississippi, Clark said. I am honored to be named superintendent of the education for the Catholic Diocese of Biloxi and acknowledge that our wonderful Catholic schools are built on the commitment and sacrifice many have served before.
Pulled over lawmaker. This thing goes 140. An Arizona lawmaker who was pulled over for speeding told the sheriff's deputy that he sometimes drives as fast as 140 miles per hour, according to a body camera footage of the incident. Representative Paul Mosley, a Republican from Lake Havasu City, told the deputy that legislative immunity preventing him from getting a ticket for speeding, according to a story and video of the incident published by Parker Live on the website.
Parents turn to doctors to avoid vaccines. 2 years after California adopted one of the toughest child vaccination laws in the nation, the state's immunization rates are near record high levels. Approved after a measles outbreak that originated at Disneyland, the law makes California one of only 3 states that bar parents from citing their personal beliefs to avoid having their children vaccinated. Yet, even with the strict new law, there remain schools and neighborhoods with dangerously low vaccination rates. Experts say, largely because a growing number of parents are obtaining doctor's notes, exempting their kids from the required shots.
Michigan awards first medical marijuana licenses. Michigan awarded its first medical marijuana licenses Thursday, launching what is expected to become a $700 million industry in the state. But the business owners won't be able to operate for at least another month. Licenses were granted for 4 large grow operations in Kansing Independency and Processor in Ann Arbor and Secure Transport Company out of Lansing. But no testing facility license were granted, so the actual marijuana and the products produced from the weed can't yet be tested or sold. It was the latest delay in what has become a series of impediments to the state's medical marijuana business. The legislature passed laws in December 2016 to tax and regulate the market, but getting the rules in place and licenses obtained has been a tedious and slow process.
Energy companies hit a roadblock. From Occidental Petroleum's headquarters in central Houston, executives can look eastward to the petrochemical complex lining the Houston Ship Channel and watch as thousands of tons of carbon dioxide get pumped into the atmosphere each day. That gas poses an existential threat to the oil and gas industry as governments worldwide crack down on carbon emissions in an effort to slow climate change. But it is also the lifeblood of Occidental, which has long pumped carbon dioxide into its oil wells to extricate crude that otherwise would remain trapped underground. Now, as the U.S. government urges companies to expand the use of carbon dioxide in oil production and other industrial activity, toward creating markets and incentives to capture the gas before it gets into the atmosphere, a roadblock is emerging. Few pipelines are available to move the carbon captured from industrialized areas such as the Houston Ship Channel.
This is a home.